Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Suyncll electric pressure washer. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon. And if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's get this open. So we have an instruction manual and some hardware and tools. So I'm going to unload all these parts and then we'll take a closer look at them. Okay, so I think I have everything unboxed here. Here we have the pressure washer. It has wheels on the back. It has this long power cord with a built-in GFCI protector. This is the detergent feed tube. We have a switch to turn it on. On the back here, we have the inlet, and there's an adapter that will go on there. On the front, we have the outlet. Here's a holder. We have the wand. So to spray, you squeeze here. This has a safety on it, so you can press this red thing out. Here's a cord holder. And here's the spray part of the wand, and it has the different tips on here. So this is a 0-degree tip, this is the 15, 25, 40, and then this one is for detergent. So when you're choosing a tip, you typically want the widest tip that will do the job. The widest tip will have the least pressure. Now this and every other pressure washer can damage things. You can have a lot of pressure coming out of here. It can literally blow holes through materials. So that's why you want to start with the widest. It'll have the least amount of pressure. So to switch the tip out, we'll pull down here, we'll pull the tip, take the tip out of the storage, pull down, and we'll put the new tip in, and there you have a different tip. So I'm just showing this on my bench now where I have good lighting, and I'll go out and demonstrate that in a bit. And this looks like the hose that takes it from the outlet to the reel, and here's the hose reel. So it has an included hose reel, and there's even a crank on it to help crank it back in. So I'm going to read through the instructions. I'll get this put together. It looks pretty straightforward, and then I'll take it outside and demonstrate it. Okay, so I have it all together. It went together smoothly. So I have the cord wrapped on the back. I have the detergent bottle here, and then I put the adapter on here for the hose. So you want to make sure the little strainer screen is on the outside, so when you connect a hose, it keeps debris from getting into the pressure washer. So what we have left over is the screwdriver, the wrench. The wrench is used to tighten the hose to the wand, and it has a little pin here to clean the nozzle out if it were to get clogged. And here are the assembly instructions. They're pretty straightforward, so you can pause and read through those. I also turned the knob up, which is the off position. So I'm going to take this outside and we'll test it out. Okay, so I'm outside. I have water hooked up. I have power plugged in. We have the GFCI protection, so we can test that. It's working. Now it's very windy out. There's construction going on, so I may not be talking a lot in this, but I'll do some demonstrations. Okay, so we have that 40-degree tip on there. You can see it's cleaning this concrete grate. Now there's some mold on here, and that's not quite coming off, so I'm going to put one of the narrower tips on. Let's try the 25. So that's working a little bit better to take that mold off. So this here is a deck box, and you can see it has grime on it. So let's clean it next. The nice thing about this being electric is when I'm not pulling the trigger, it's not running. So see, I'll pull the trigger. It'll start running. When I let go of the trigger, it turns off. So here we have a patio chair. You can see the arms of these are very dirty. Let's clean this off. That worked very nicely. Now in the stitching here, we have some mold. Let's take that off. Let me get that off down there. And you can see where I didn't clean there. Next I have this gutter, and you can see it has mold on the bottom of it. Let's try cleaning that off. Let's try the 15-degree tip. Now when you put the tip in, make sure it's secure, give it a little tug. You don't want it to shoot out. Here's a plastic shed. You can see it has mold on it. Let's try cleaning it. That worked very well. Okay, so I have some detergent in here. It's not really pressure washer detergent, it's car wash. And I put the black nozzle on. So it's not foaming up a tremendous amount, but it is putting soap on the car. Might show up a little bit better on this black car. So to rinse it off, I'll switch to the white nozzle, which is 40 degrees. You don't want to use a really direct nozzle when cleaning a car. And I'll take the hose out of here because we don't want to use detergent on the high pressure nozzle. Another thing to consider is you want to pull this, not pointing at the car, just in case you don't have that tip in there, you don't want to shoot out and hit your car. Next, on the roof of this car, I have this mold. Let's try cleaning it off. You can really see the difference between the cleaned area and the uncleaned area. So I moved inside. It was getting really windy out, but I was making good progress. Now my experience has always been with gas-powered pressure washers, so I was a bit skeptical that an electric pressure washer could do a good job, and I have to say I was very impressed. I like that I can just plug this in to power, hook up the water and go. I don't have to mess with gas, and I also don't smell like exhaust when I'm done. And it's much quieter. It's especially quiet considering that when you take your hand off the trigger, it shuts off. But even when it's running, it's really not that noisy for what it is. So I just touched on a couple things you could clean with this. You could also use this to clean brick, tile, landscaping block. Now you do want to be careful if you're cleaning things like a wood deck. You want to use the widest nozzle and keep the nozzle away from the wood because you can blow holes in wood. And that's with this or any other pressure washer. So if you're looking for a pressure washer that's easy to use and is very effective, I'd check this out. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.